What's up, y'all? We back with another one. I was just, searching through the own, Oprah Winfrey Network archives, and I was looking through that. We had a couple of things that stood out to a bitch like myself. What I was looking at, is this 4-year-old, right? This was back in, I think, 2004. She, she's worried about being fat, and she's like 4. You know what I'm saying? And that's about damn, almost what, 10, 15, going on 15 years ago, and those kind of things were still in the forefront of the mind of the country. That shit is ridiculous, man. But I do kind of like the way that the doctors and the psychiatrists and therapists were making standpoints towards this mother and everything. And Oprah was kind of well, it was funny to me, but it was right. Y'all hear it, and it's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? And we gotta realize as parents and leaders and activists of the new generation that what we say and what we don't say sometimes is a lot louder, and it shows the youth things that we don't even think they understand or even see. They interpret it in a better way, a more in tune way. So it might be a weird way, and then if you see it as a problem being that young, then you know it had to be something you were doing. You can't just pick that up somewhere like you pick up a cold or something at 2, 3, and 4. I mean, they very impressionable and encourageable, but nigga, that's wild. That's like OD with it. So watch this and you see what I mean. And I'll be back with my commentary in a minute. Let's get it.
Taylor is afraid she will become fat. She's only 4.
How about some ice cream? Why not? Because it makes you stop. Taylor and I were driving, and there was a lady walking by, and she was overweight. And Taylor pointed to her to point out to me that she was fat. And then she proceeded to tell me, I'm going to pick the skinny people. You pick the fat people, because you're a little bit fat. If you get fat, will you be sad? Yes. Do you think that fat people are pretty?
Most days, Taylor leaves the house without breakfast. At lunch, she'll turn down a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, choosing a cup of peaches instead.
Why are you eating fruit and vegetables?
And where does a 4-year-old learn to fear being fat?
I honestly believe that she's learning from just being around other little girls.
But Angela admits she's had her own weight battles. She suffered from anorexia for years. Today, she keeps the weight off by limiting her food intake. No servings bigger than 1 cup.
So this is lunch and dinner.
And she works out almost every day, sometimes twice a day. A workout regimen that Taylor mimics at home.
Why do you exercise? So what do you do? Exercise. Eat fruit and vegetables.
Angela is 4-year-old Taylor's mother. And when did you first notice that Taylor was really concerned, becoming obsessive about weight?
She went to pre-K, and one of the kids called her fat. She came home and she said, Mommy, am I fat? You know, the child called me fat. Am I fat? And since then, she makes little comments.
Now, I hear that your husband thinks that her behavior is your fault.
Well, he jokes around and he'll say, well, you know, as far as getting dressed and she wants to be dressed a certain way, that he thinks it's my fault. But as far as the, you know, her weight issues, he's aware that it comes from being around other children and being in school, because we never had a problem with Taylor worrying about her weight or making statements until she started going to school. She would hear the other little girls talk about weight. You'd be surprised.
Are we talking about 4 and 5-year-olds?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Okay. who are worried about their weight.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I was talking.
See, that's bullshit. Let me tell you why. You know that's bullshit because, dude, you can't say, well, she wasn't talking this shit till she went to pre-K. Nigga, the only reason she wasn't talking it till then because she ain't had nobody to tell. She learned it from you, and then when she went to pre-K, she got people to tell. Now you gonna hear her say it often because then she's gonna say it, then it's gonna bounce off them, and then they gonna say it to other people, and it's just gonna start a damn chain of people saying the same shit, stupid ass. God damn you.
About a couple of weeks ago, we did the show on the marginalization of women. I don't know if anybody is paying attention, but I just this morning driving into work, I decided to look at all to pay conscious attention to all the ads, and I don't
Oprah got jokes, y'all. She got jokes.
care what the ad is for. The bodies of it's this perfect, idealized, sculpted figure.
Yes.
That nobody looks real. Who knows people who look like that? And there may be a few people who look like that, but
Okay. Right now, Oprah knew that was stupid. That's why she had to backpedal a little bit. Everybody wants to say, I don't know nobody look like that. Shut the fuck up. Yes, you do. It may not be everybody on the planet. And yeah, it's a small percentage of motherfuckers. But you know niggas that look like that. Shut the fuck up. Like you ain't never seen nobody the size of Twiggy. Like, she not the only small bitch on the planet. Motherfuckers get on my nerves. So that's why Oprah had the backpedal to be like, I don't know a lot of people that look like that, but everybody knows somebody who look like somebody who look like somebody else. You hear me?
those are the images that we feed ourselves constantly. And I counted just driving into work this morning 46 different images from everything from, for everything.
Yeah.
So this is what we're doing to ourselves. Yes?
Yes, for sure. I'm a little, I want some help from you two. Because when you're talking about that she learned this when she went to pre-K, in the tape piece, it talked about that you had struggled with anorexia.
Absolutely.
And about measuring your own food out.
Yes.
So talk to me.
I've always been told that when you eat, you're not supposed to eat more than the palm of your hand. So that's just become a rule of thumb with me. So I just make sure that I feed myself the palm of my hand. Now I do.
That's stupid as hell. Don't you hate when niggas take information, then fuck it up, and then put it on their side like it's gonna benefit them? Actually, and let me explain this to y'all. Number one, the therapist couldn't talk about it because she ain't no nutritionist. She's a damn mental doctor, right? So she skips over that. And I have bulimia, which I acquired from self-knowledge of being locked down in the nursing home. And then thusly I acquired education on alcohol and drug counseling and just counseling in general. So then it goes to like, hey, you this is the only thing you can control in yourself. Because you can't control how people treat you and how life reacts to it, what you're doing, and blah, 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 bullshit, right? But this bitch sit up and talk about some goddamn, oh, I always was told that you ain't supposed to blah, 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 bullshit. Number one, she meant to say the size of your stomach is give or take around the size of your fist. One. And the size that she meant to talk about was the meat and the protein when you were trying to control your intake for any reason other than just a daily routine, right? That it's supposed to be, the meat is supposed to be the size, no size bigger than the deck of cards, alright? So this bitch gonna fuck around and fuck up what she said to benefit herself and it don't even sound right. And you got Celie over there just tripping. This whole violence, son. This whole violence.
Right. That she is eating like one or has patterns like one.
And an
And
awareness,
that's grooming her daughter.
absolutely, that your daughter is picking up messages from you, as is yours. And they're messages that the two of you, I think maybe before today, didn't really know they're getting. Victoria's Secret magazine. I'm thinking, wait a minute, we're talking about a 3-year-old. And I love, Oprah, that you were this morning
Yeah.
driving in, counting the
Yeah,
ads.
yeah.
It really connects with, well, you're able to say,
You saw that? You didn't see that little slide? Coochie sucking she did right there. I love how when you said you was driving it, shut the fuck up.
this is crazy. This isn't real. This is a fantasy. But your daughter is looking at this and picking, I like that. I don't like this. We're talking about lingerie. We're talking about bras. We're talking about underwear. And a 3-year-old is being exposed. So I'm just wondering, can the two of you start to ask, wow, like on our watch, what boundaries have we missed that need to be in place to help protect our children? Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
But
But what
your
is
soul.
scary to me is that what you said is about, coming through the womb and
Yes.
being wounded. So it's like you pass your psychic wounds
Yes.
on to your child. The
Yes.
fact that you were once an anorexic, I never met a black person who was anorexic.
That was another thing someone did. You're absolutely right.
I
Because
swear I was going to try to keep it to myself, but I swear I never. You're the first one I ever met.
and I was hoping that I didn't want to come out and say, well, not a lot of black women are anorexic
Yeah.
because it's glorified to have a little booty and some hips,
Yeah. I know you are the first one in 21 years of doing television,
And you know what? I didn't get it from having a self-esteem problem. I ran track for a lot of years.
I gotta stop. I gotta scream.
Okay.
I gotta say something. I know we have commercials and stuff, but wait, you can't say that. And I know you mean it, but I don't want you to leave here and say that you became anorexic, but you didn't have self-esteem problems. That's an impossibility.
It's
Okay.
impossible.
It's impossible. Wait, let me just
Okay.
say, it's impossible that I starve my body
Mhm.
and that I feel good about myself, because part of feeling good about myself is that I nurture my body, my mind, and my spirit. So as an athlete, where I think you were going is that
Yeah.
athletes are encouraged to starve themselves. Models are encouraged to starve themselves, but people who go along with it,
Okay.
if there's a hole, something has to go in it. There was a hole in you, and the anorexia showed up.
Okay.
But that okay is kind of like, okay, Dr. Robin.
I agree with you.
No, I know, but I want a little, I guess I want something more.
I'm gonna
worry. No, and what I want is, again, it may not happen today, but I
Okay.
want you to start thinking about what was hurting in me a long time ago. A long time. Both of you. That's showing up in our little babies.
But I think this is fascinating.
And the real injury, you tried to heal your daughter when the hurt was in you. So you gotta so
Amy Flyer over there.
So you got to be careful, because the injury, the hurt, was in you, and you thought, okay, I'll just forget about me and I'll redo it. I'll do better in her.
Yes. But I am oversensitive, I think, as far as I know that I had a problem with anorexia.
Okay, I have to just say this to
Okay.
you too, because you guys have 3 and 4 years, which I love 3 and 4. That's the perfect age for me. But this is the thing that most parents, I think, miss, is that your children are more sensitive, more powerful, more spiritually attuned, and psychically attuned
true.
than ever. I mean, as they get older, they will lose some of that.
Right.
You lose it because the world makes you lose it. But when you're that young, you pick up on everything, all the energy around them they're taking in. And so she's taken in that energy. That's what I find. It's amazing.
Yes.
It really is. There is a quote by writer Naomi Wolf that I believe gets to the heart of all of it. She says, a mother who radiates self-love and self-acceptance actually vaccinates her daughter against low self-esteem. Don't you love that quote?
Yes.
So yeah, y'all know the end of the video. Like, subscribe. Tell a friend, man, and don't fuck up my Benjamins. Damn.